What up, everybody, and welcome back. It's 2025 to Subs Lie Dubs Lie, a comprehensive anime podcast. It's your boy Jay. I'm here with my dogs D and AD. How y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We back, yo. It felt like forever, but starting the year off right. Yeah, to give you some fire. Yeah, to give you that fire.
Yes, sir. Welcome to 2025, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Listen, like there's so much that we are still left to cover in this season. Like we really just kind of ended 2024 with like a preview of season 5 for real if you think about it. Right? Because like there's still the majority of battles that we have to cover this season, and we've got an electrifying one this week, to say the least. But before we do, how y'all doing, my boys?
I'm doing pretty good, y'all. Cannot complain. Week was rather short. Rather short.
Yeah.
You know, they sent your boy back to work on a Thursday, which was crazy.
Same.
Likewise.
Yo, I came in there and I forgot how to do my job. I was on autopilot. Like, that's the one time where I'm like, you know what? If they ever had to complain, like, I get it, because I was off. I wanted to be there, but at the same time, I was like, yo, I couldn't do much. I got a vacation on the brain. So
yes.
It was smooth. Ended the week off right. Got to read a good old manga. You know, I thought I would never ever have to go reread One Piece, and I didn't even have to, and I chose it, and I enjoyed it. Now I'm one of One Piece's biggest soldiers now again. Until I ever go into the later arcs where it's like I gotta jump off. But for now, I'm in it. Like, yo, call me East Blue D, man. I'm here. Sure.
I am the apostle that was sent down from the heavens to speak the word of One Piece.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! That ain't
the truth. They sent you at the right time.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, right? Like, not only with just this, but there is another One Piece related thing that we're going to be working on very soon on the network. But you know, we just had the Water 7 arc last year with LJ and Mills. You know, that was a fun time as well.
Absolutely.
But as far as like for 2025 so far, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it has been terrible as a Georgia sports fan.
Oh yeah,
Like from the very first day with the Hawks going into the UGA and into, you know, the Falcons, it's been that kind of week for me, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. But,
I
don't blame you.
There's promise. At least it's not a bleak future. You know what I'm saying? You could take the present and say, you know what, this is absolute garbage. But at least you can look forward to something. Well, man, I am a Cowboys fan. There is nothing. And I mean nothing to look forward to at all.
I'm a fan of both.
I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? A couple of years ago, I've been ready to punch a TV, but it's fine. With the Falcons, I got promise. Hawks, y'all got Trae Young, entertaining dude. So y'all got it. Y'all got it, man.
And that's the thing, is at the end of 2024, it was kind of looking like an upswing for the Hawks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was like 3 games in a row, just like smashing. But now it's just like, oh, all
they
right,
on this West Coast road trip, man. And this,
man. I'm sorry we had to do that to y'all, man.
But man, listen, it's not just y'all, but like, and we had the Nuggets, man, on New Year's Day. Man, like we're just
we gonna have to get y'all up out playing these Western teams.
I will say because we ain't had Jalen Johnson, you know what I'm saying? He's probably one of the better bright spots for us, but you know,
we'd have had trouble if he was in there. That's my.
But also, y'all got Kawhi back at the right time too. At the wrong time, I'm like, oh hell no! This is
came up out the healing chamber like Goku, boy.
Man, I got the tweet and it was like, oh yeah, oh he's out, and I said, damn it, And then 3 hours later, Kawhi is set to return. He posts on Twitter his little commercial thing. I was like, you know what? Let's go. I like the Hawks anyway. So I was like, you know what? Win or lose, we got this. I'm having fun. And then I saw Kawhi hit that 3. And I was like, oh yeah, let's destroy them.
Legitimately turned the game off. For a moment, I saw Derrick Jones Jr. get 3 dunks in a row, and I'm like, oh, bro.
That OP guy, I was like, oh yeah. That OP guy, I was like, let's go, man.
That was nasty.
That was the perfect get right game, man. Y'all was the perfect get right. I'm sorry.
Man, fuck you.
Yo, shout out to Trae Young. Oh my God, best playmaker in the league. Most underrated player in the league for me. So it's no qualms, man. Sorry, you said Trent.
I want to see the Clippers go far, man. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'll sacrifice a kidney at this point, man. I'm dead serious. I just want to see them win a chip, bro. Literally, I can die.
For real.
Literally, just health. Kawhi, you can have my leg, bro. They put me in a wheelchair and I do my job, bro. I'm good. I ain't gotta do much. Just please, I'm wishing on a star. Please, let's go far, man. Let's go far.
Right now it's just OKC for y'all, but like, you know, yeah.
Yo, don't eat like, bro. It is so bittersweet. I had to tweet like, yo, the fact that Shea is like the best player in the league, arguably this season, like, damn. And you look at the Clippers drafting history, it is absolute garbage. And then that one bright spot, one season, he up out of there. And now he playing like he the MVP to me, as far as I know. I'm like, damn, the one time we got it right, we gave that dude away. The most annoying team possible. Them dudes is hoarding draft picks. And we part of the reason, we part of the problem. But shout out to him, shout out to Shea. Like, yo, come back, bro. Ballmer will throw you the bag, bro. We can restore this. We need a star that's gonna be there for a long run. So come here, man. Yeah, Shea. Let bygones be bygones.
Bro, you know another thing that I really ended my year strong with? I got to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And as a big fan of Sonic Adventure 2, boy, I was like, listen, man, this ain't exactly Sonic Adventure 2, the movie, but as far as like the main reasons why you play Sonic Adventure 2, this is Sonic Adventure 2, the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I loved that shit. What say y'all, man?
10 out of 10.
This is gonna be crazy. I know people probably listen to this like, yo, you gotta be hyping this up. And I'm like, yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. What? I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but I was like, you know what? Okay. It's in Sonic Adventure 2 with some cheeky fourth wall breaking.
Yes.
That's like the worst part about it.
That's part of the worst part about it. It's just like there's I don't know. Like, I like Shadow in this. I really do.
I did too.
Like,
so where are your misses in Sonic 3 then?
It's really not misses.
I guess not so much misses, but like what are those last 3 points for you?
I wanted to see more of the like. I don't like. Honestly speaking, I just thought it could be better. I thought Amy would be in this joint, and I thought realistically, if their intentions were to drop this Shadow introduction to end the year off prior to coming off of Sonic 2, which was basically Sonic 3, the Genesis joint.
Yeah.
Going the CD route, like honestly, it was an 8. And then when I saw the end of the movie and I see Amy appear, sorry, spoilers, whatever.
Yeah, but, I think it's enough time.
I was like, Sonic, And I was like, wait a minute. This is Sonic CD?
Yes.
I'm like, we went from Sonic 3, and then we went to Sonic the Adventure 2, and now we going back to CDs. All right. I was like, y'all playing with my emotions. Like, I honestly would have taken Sonic CD and then wait for this whole Shadow reveal, like, after whatever we're gonna get.
So
I hear where you coming from.
I'm gonna let you go, but like I had thoughts about that too, but like in a more different direction. I think I told you part of that, Jay. On my feelings about it.
Mine is like this, right? It makes sense to introduce Shadow as early as you fucking can. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, yo, that's cash cow. And they need it. Like, like, dude, they just cleared $1 billion.
Right.
Like, and so, like, you got it.
If we're making character allegories just in terms of how characters fit in the premise, right? You've got Goku, Krillin, and Piccolo. So we needed Vegeta, right? And I'm using this literally. I am not like speaking in subtext. I mean it for real. Because the next movie is about to be Metal Cooler.
Yeah.
It's you know what I'm saying? It's literally just about to be the Metal Cooler movie, just in a Sonic movie. Like the fact that it's like it's you know what I'm saying? Like something like that along those lines where it's like, oh, like this is a basic premise. You got this enemy that can just self-replicate and like they've got to work together in order to take them down, right?
Seeing Shadow beat Metal Sonic. You know what? Really, like this movie gave me Sonic heroes, like calling them
Sonic. Sonic?
No,
realistically, they are like you could say CD, but you can also say Sonic heroes because Sonic.
That was my thing.
Yeah, that is that. It's just the intro to Amy. It reminds me more of Sonic CD.
Yes,
but like they already going with the whole Sonic heroes thing, which is you can't go wrong either way. I like the Sonic movies. I don't think they're just perfect. I don't think you ever could replicate those days of Sonic.
We couldn't just do the Sonic anime in live action.
I hold them in high regard, and then I saw that with Sonic X. They had that, and I loved it. And then seeing the movie try its spin for a movie wise to adapt this and make it their own spin, really good. And 7 out of 10 for me. That's really good. Like I'm very strict.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, that's why I was just asking. I was like,
to be perfect, like that would tie into like the sentimental value. The fact that I've seen this already in the best possible way. I played it in the best possible. I played Sonic Adventure 2 too many times. Like I play it every year, which is crazy. I played
it's not.
It's like I like the game was, and then I saw it. The anime was. I like to see this. And it not be and I know you can't copy every single thing. You can't introduce all these. You can't. Impossible. So for a good try and its own spin, 7 out of 10. And I like the fact that the Sonic world, like, look, you can see promise there. It's a big promise. You could keep this going, bro. I hope this. It's not gonna end. Like keep this going in the right direction as far as writing goes, because y'all got it. It's not garbage at all. Sonic is literally, out of all of them, feels the weakest, but it's not bad by the slightest. Like it's very watchable. So to continue with another big hitter like Metal Sonic as a main antagonist for your next movie, you gotta go, baby. Definitely. I'd be surprised if they don't put Rouge the Bat in that mode. Just see.
Yeah, see, because like that's what I felt leaving this movie was that it was like, okay, this is Sonic Adventure 2 without all the slow parts, meaning without all the searching missions. Without all of the I need to go get the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, because like that part was kind of funny though. Like I hit the emerald somewhere, and
it's like that's all I needed was a reference to the fact that he gets them like that.
Tails using basically the fake emerald to get
honestly,
really what throws me off is probably Dr. Gerald. The fact like he is basically the main it's a very great spin at the same time. Sonic Adventure 2 really kind of makes it seem like, yo, you went insane. Absolutely. And it's due to Gun.
Yes.
Gun did it.
Yeah.
Gun is still the good guys. So it's like the fact that his misery and chaos that created the art to essentially, you know what, I don't care no more. You killed my granddaughter, etc., etc. It's kind of weird to see him be villainized to a degree.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be the sympathetic figure in a sense.
I would still say he is still kind of the villain in like Sonic Adventure 2, mostly because of like him creating the bio lizard. You know,
only the stuff after his turn.
He realizes what he does, and that's really what I was looking for. And prior to the movie became like, I can't wait for him to make that speech that he does in Sonic Adventure 2. And I didn't see that, so I was like, you know what? That's probably taking away the points.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, I would say flat out when Maria gets shot, I'm popping. I'm sorry, but it sends this game into like astronomical levels as far as series goes for Sonic. Because we destroyed a piece of the Earth or whatever in Sonic Adventure 1, but it still felt kind of fake goofy. By Sonic Adventure, somebody gets shot. It's a little girl.
Yeah.
And you killed the ultimate life form in basically one sense of compassion and empathy. You're expecting some dark shit. I feel like it didn't feel as deep. Like, I don't know, it's very weird. I may have to
it touches on those things without giving you the full weight of it. And I get why it can't, because it's a family movie, right? Because at the end of the day, Sonic Adventure 2 was this game given to us from like Japan, and it's gonna be made for their kids. Right?
Absolutely.
But in the same aspect though, like the things that this movie did do right was like give us more of Maria and her personality and how she actually affected Sonic. I mean, not Sonic, but Shadow. You know. Yeah. So I think that's a part of it that plays into it that we don't get to see in the games. You know.
Yeah, she doesn't feel like a damsel in the movie.
Not at all.
Like she has her own personality, where it's like, oh yeah, this is basically the innocent little girl who can't really do much because she's sick. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I gotta spin this movie again. Maybe like months from now.
It'll probably be on streaming by the end of the month. Like I've looked back, all of the Sonic movies have been on streaming on Paramount within a month's time. So like I would definitely expect it to be available pretty soon. I feel about the same way. I feel like Gerald takes away from the story a little bit, just because he's, and I'm not saying this is like this shouldn't have gone this way. It's just more of like his goofiness is on thick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
it's Jim Carrey though, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I get why we have that there. It's just like it doesn't help add to his character because we're just kind of getting like, oh yeah, of course that's his grandpa. He's acts just like him. You know what I mean?
Acts just like him. And really the only comparison should be the fact that they're very creative and damn near super geniuses.
Yeah.
At creating things. Like, that's where the stop goes. But like Jim Carrey has took Eggman and made him into his own person. And it helps because people really like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on whatever. Like Eggman is kind of goofy in the games.
Yeah.
But is he that goofy?
Yeah. I think Adventure 2 at least.
Yeah. Yeah. The decisions that they made with Egg, basically like you're just saying that he's dead in this movie. It's like kinda. I don't know how to feel about that. Like I really don't, because realistically I know that Eggman created Metal Sonic. And now it's just me having to accept the canon of the movie, and it's like kind of throws me off because I'm like, yo, I played these games too many times, so like it's hard to really distinguish or like sway. Okay, yeah, this happened. It's its own entity. This whole series, this whole movie series. This is its own thing. Don't look at the games, man. Even though you know that it says Sonic Team in the beginning of the movie, like, yo, these are their own storytelling. They're not
the games are just the inspiration.
The games are just the inspiration.
Yeah.
So,
now, I'll say like I know I said 10 out of 10. It's not like a 10 out of 10 for real, but just like
absolutely.
like it's like for me it's at least a 9. But in the same way that like how I feel like they've just all the Sonic movies have progressively gotten better, from them making like the Olive Garden jokes in 1 to like just, you know, the storytelling in 2. Like it's like 7, 8, 9. And like I think that like they've just been making the writing a lot more tighter. But I will agree with you guys on like Gerald, and it's not like Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors, like just because of like his personality and how he brings characters to life in that manner. But the thing that throws me off the most is like the fourth wall breaking. Is like we play the same voice, like that should have been like or something. Movie, man.
That's what you saved during the end of the movie, or like a DVD bonus.
Yeah,
back in the days, like this is what we did. We got to see. Even though I did laugh when they had the little bonding scene that Eggman's right up by it. That realistically I had to just get back into the movie.
I thought it was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
It was hilarious.
It's like okay, obviously, yeah, we gotta have it to where he's like a little kid with his grandpa, right? That doesn't take away, but it does kind of like okay, but like this is the grand villain, right? You know what I mean?
This is the grand villain, and he's really about to do damage. If he's going to do what we know he's supposed to do, the fact that he's this silly and I already know that the arc's going to build. They're gonna destroy some shit. This one silly guy is like the basically end or break it all as far as this movie goes, because he could destroy the earth. I didn't feel like he would destroy the earth. Legitimately. He never gave me that vibe.
But I would say, like, the other thing too, but with his characterization is like, at least we get some type of acknowledgement of, him thinking about Maria and, Eggman himself. So like, because, in the games, we never necessarily see like Eggman say, oh, that's my cousin or whatever like that. You don't never get anything like that.
Yeah, that felt good. Because it's like, damn, you don't care about your family, bro? Like,
Eggman in the movies is a whole lot more realized as a character, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's super meta as far like Jim Carrey is super meta. Like he's making sure he does his knowledge on the games. I like the fact that Keanu Reeves made his own spin on Shadow without it feeling like it was just out of pocket. Because I was expecting John Wick with Shadow, especially when I saw that gun and it was tagging me. I was like, no.
Yeah, I'm glad it was just for the one scene. You know what I mean?
Because the ultimate life form does not need a gun. How many times do I got to tell you people? So I'm glad that they just realized that what the kids call it, aura form. Yeah, let's make an aura form with that one gun. It's like, thankfully he doesn't do it much.
Like this is all the reference to Shadow the Hedgehog's game that we need.
All of that, including like the end of the fight with Sonic, leading up to the Akira slide up the building.
It's so gratuitous.
You knew that was happening, man. You knew that was happening. I'm glad that they realized you could still bring stuff from the old games, because like Sonic 06. A lot of people hate that. Now people like it now.
Yeah.
But like seeing Shadow with a gun, motorcycle, he's doing his own thing, yada yada. Like it kind of felt more like this Shadow feels more like Sonic 06 Shadow in a sense, or Shadow the Hedgehog Shadow. Essentially. Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel like Sonic Adventure 2 Shadow at all. Like,
which makes sense, especially with like the entire push of Shadow generations. And that character definitely feels like
year Shadow. We're gonna get a Shadow the Hedgehog remake, and I'm gonna be the only person that's a Sonic fan that doesn't play it because I don't.
I didn't play the first one, bro. Like, nah, I ain't playing that.
Missing much.
I didn't play it.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, but I borrowed it from somebody, so like
that's understandable, bro.
You didn't pay for that. Atrocious.
I was 16. I was like, I see what they're doing. I'm cool, man.
Playing the same stage 4 times to get different endings over and over again. That's not fun. And Shadow with the gun saying "damn" and all those edgy little words that you're trying to push. Not fun. We're so good. We're so good. I hope that remake destroys everything and makes it a little bit more appropriate for the current Shadow that we know and love now. So, good movie. Watch it again, and maybe my opinion changed. Maybe it doesn't. But
my really favorite part of it all is just like all the little references. You know what I mean? Like all the little things that, like, whether it's obvious or not. Like seeing that when they were watching the little kaiju movie and it's the bio lizards. I was like, awesome. That's all I needed. I don't need the bio lizard to actually be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that's enough. Like, little stuff like that. Yeah, as long as the Sonic movies.
Yeah, Chow Garden and
Chow Garden. Oh my god, I was like, yes.
I was like, hey, I remember that, and that's all you need. Like sometimes it's more show than tell. Don't do the fourth wall breaks at all because we don't need it. Whatever you're gonna reference to, we know.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like no food or movies on this flight. I'm out of here. Like, you know what I mean?
That was funny. That was super funny. And you knew it was gonna happen, but let's not break the wall no more. Let's
what were you saying though, AD?
I was saying like the different music cues that they always add into the game, like from the games and everything. Like, you know, that's some of the best stuff too. Like Escape from the City, you know.
Sure. Hearing, living, and learning the years, I was trying my hardest not to go crazy, but
just in the beginning of the movie with that flashback, and they're just little strums on the guitar. I was like, let's go.
I made that stink face when you hearing the fire track. I looked at, I was like, ooh, we getting. Oh, obviously, there's no way in the world you do not play Live and Learn. But it's been so long, so I was happy.
Yeah, so, I wish I could go back in time and tell 14-year-old Jay, like, yo, I just saw the Sonic Adventure 2 movie, bro.
We're getting this.
Just stay alive 2 more decades, bro. We're getting.
Just keep going. I will say I might definitely watch it again because, like, you know, Pumpkin Hill is one of those themes, and I don't think we have any type of reference to that. I might be kind of
I don't remember that.
That's the heartbreak. Like, those stages were a pain growing up, but the songs made up for those stages.
The Rouge jazz music, like, you know.
We're missing Rouge a lot. Like, those little characters, they make a lot. They put their foot right into it. So it's like
so serious.
Taking half of them away, it's kind of hard. But it is what it is. By Sonic Movie 5, whenever that happens, all them characters that you know and love are going to be in the movies.
I'm expecting Chaos to be like the enemy in Sonic 5.
You have no choice but to. You have no choice but to. That's why Amy is now in going to be in the 4th one, because now you damn near have the cat. Just please do not bring back the cat, because he does not play a damn thing in my fandom.
No.
Like, you can that one character. Oh yeah, but you want everybody besides Big the Cat, because there's no need for that. That wasn't fun. That was not fun.
You can just show him fishing on their planet somewhere, you know?
For 1 second or 2. Yeah, I'll deal with it, but don't. No. No. But I do think that by 5 they're going to make Chaos big.
Oh, for sure. That could be the last one, and I'd be cool with it.
I will be there. Most definitely.
So, you know, there's been so much that we've been able to cover, and so much that's happened in the past year. I find it only fitting that we start this year with a classic. Okay. And one of our favorite battles that we knew we would have to cover was Luffy versus Enel from One Piece. I mean, first off, One Piece, a very rarely discussed anime on here, but nothing but love from the whole Lookout crew for One Piece. So I figure it's only right that we finally dive into this. So this week, tune in after the break as we dive into quite literally one of the most electrifying battles in all of anime between Luffy and Enel.
If you mess with friends of mine, then you mess with me.
It is God who is fear itself.
So, something y'all might not know, or something you might be also pretty aware of. One Piece is the great frontier that I've yet to untake. Like, it's like one areas where it's like, I'm aware of it. I know I'm tapped in with who these characters are and the events that they have going, but I've never watched it all the way through, man. So when we got this chance this week to cover One Piece for Luffy and Enel, I was so excited, because not only does it give me the chance to really dive into this really dope battle, but the story around it, the Skypeia arc, I'm sorry, I gotta say, that's one of the best anime arcs of all time for me. What y'all thinking?
And in all honesty, I'm glad that you guys are doing this first off. With Skypeia, it is definitely one of the best ones, but it is also the microcosm of everything that One Piece is, from beginning to end. The entire saga just is this story of adventure, this story of, you know, dreams And I believe that if you are looking into whatever One Piece may or may not be, this should be the make or break part. Now, granted, it is like 200 something episodes, 200 something chapters into the series, right? But like, if you are able to make it to that point, you will see the actual story, that the grand story that One Piece is really about. From, you know, your dreams may or may not be real, but you having the wherewithal to even set out to go on this impossible journey that people don't think you can even begin to do. The friendships that you make as you're going on this journey, the trials, the tribulations, the everything that One Piece is about, is all here in Skypeia. It is honestly one of my favorites.
Man, talk that, because it really is. Like, I had to. Any chance I'm gonna get to reference any part of my life that was instantly improved, I'm gonna do it. And Skypeia, for me, growing up, seeing this arc, reading this arc, I knew I was getting myself into some trouble. Because, man, listen, a lot of showing it for me. You make or break. You making it, breaking it by passing 100 plus episodes. Be very honest with you.
True. Yes.
So the fact that you crossing these lines and you're keeping the quality, that's A plus. Then you give me one of the best adventures you can possibly offer in this deep part of your series. I'm in there. You give me a great villain. I'm super in there. I'm the fact that it's basically a whole new world. Like, it already said its part as like, yo, this world building thing in One Piece is really kind of the best thing you have to offer as far as every other show. And the fact that you cover basically something completely grandiose as a Sky Island, I'm like, damn, we here. We definitely here. So I'm super glad to be able to talk about it. I'm glad that this arc exists. I'm super mad the fact that people talk down on it, especially on Twitter.com. So I'm glad that we have a chance to talk about it. You know, and hopefully it may sway those opinions. Because I'm tired, man. We're gonna put some respect on Skypeia. Because this is basically what, if you like One Piece, this arc essentially is giving you what One Piece is all about.
Yes.
In its best form ever. Don't care about any other arc. No, this is exactly going to show you what's the format, what's the structure. All them previous arcs, but this is 9 out of 10. Basically, what you're going to be expecting for the overseeing future. Forget 5 years from now. No, 10 years plus. You're going to get this. 15 years. You're going to get this. This is the growing point. So, let's go. Let's go.
Man, that's something that really like impressed me, right? Because from the outside looking in, this definitely seems like an underrated fight. I don't see very many people talk about Enel's character, and maybe that's just due to the fact that there's so many arcs that have happened since then, so many more impactful characters that have been introduced. But like something that really stood out to me is like, this is so early in One Piece's series, like after its first few major arcs, and we've already got Luffy fighting against a god.
Yes. And
like, that's major.
That is honestly, like, I would say we from the outside looking in, like from the beginning of the One Piece story, you know that there are a lot of characters who have these devil fruit powers, right? And a lot of them are, you know, seen in various lights. I think a few of the characters that we've seen in before we get to Skypeia have similar powers to Enel, and they are regarded as some of the strongest characters just because of how they work. He has the a Logia specific devil fruit, which is comprising of natural elements from the world. We see characters like Porcus D. Ace, we see Smoker, we see Crocodile. All of them are these different elements. And with Enel, when he's first introduced, you don't necessarily get a sense of what his power is, but you see what it does on a grand scale, because he is able to use it from long range to electrocute somebody, to annihilate islands, and like do these vast things to essentially like do religious persecution, like smiting followers who are or non-believers, people who, you know what I'm saying, like he's acting as a god. And that's one of the other things about this arc, about like false gods, you know, like it's so crazy how he comes up and about and does this. So like, you know, as you're learning the mystery with the Straw Hat crew of the Sky Islands and who these people are and how they're living in this area of the world, it's kind of like crazy to see Enel just like use his power in the ways that it does. But it also like lends itself to asking yourself, you know, if you understand electricity and you understand, you know, properties of certain other things, you may be thinking, wait, how does this work? Would this work in this manner, you know? And you don't necessarily get that right away, but you know, I'm bearing the lead on that one. It's one of my favorite things about it.
It is in the totality of it that when I finally got to that point, I was like, oh fuck yeah, he's the perfect person to fight him. Yes. I completely agree with you. What I really dig about this is something you touched on earlier, right? We've got this entire new civilization like introduced to us in Skypeia, right? And the entire structure is based on like, you know, Enel took over as a new god and has all these people living under him, to the point where even if you use his name in vain, like he'll have you stricken down. Insane sort of properties for a character this early into a manga. What do you think Enel's entire like impact on the series would be if he was to show up later in the series as a villain?
Well, we not unfortunately, but we see it already, because this format is essentially repeated with like a Doflamingo or whatever.
Yeah.
So people won't be as impressed unless you scale them. And unfortunately, like for a big anime like this, at the end of the day, it gets breaking down into the regular battle shonen tropes. So the fact that the power scaling, the power creep has jumped tremendously, it won't be that. Like I think, and that will probably be treated like some regular punk from the world.
Wow.
I'll say this, right? Because I agree with you in that same manner, but like it's a multi-layered kind of thing, in that we had Crocodile introduced early in the same way and he comes back up later. You know, there's if it doesn't happen necessarily in the anime just yet, but in the manga we do see the aftermath of what happens with Enel. And like there's still some type of hope that he may show up in the future. Now granted, we're 1,000 chapters, 1,000 episodes in, but like, you know, there are things involving his character that may or may not come up down the road. So, you know, it's still something there. And there are characters who kind of there are other Logia characters essentially that are probably just as powerful, and they get introduced down the line as these kind of like imposing figures.
Which is crazy, because me mentioning Doflamingo's in the values, he's in here. This is your first peek of him. And although he has 350 million berries, a bounty, he still looks like, he could do damage.
Okay.
Blackbeard's introduced as well. I guess it's really what you introduce, how you introduce them. But I don't know. I think in there would get. I mean, honestly, it's a catchy subject.
Yeah, that's why it's like
if you introduce him like the way how he was introduced with the whole power scale now, it's kind of hard. We'd have to buff him. We'd have to give him the Kaido treatment. We're in here because it's perfect. Because it's basically, this is Wano, except without the whole samurai stuff.
Yeah, but also in that same way, it's like it's not just the Logia thing, but this is the first introduction of what will become like the later introduction of hockey. So like they call it mantra here, and it's 1/3 of what the hockey system is, where
the observation hockey, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the fact that we get that here and like it comes up later with a lot of characters and how strong that they can become, like if he does eventually show up again, the way that his observation hockey worked was extremely powerful.
Yes.
Like damn near Shanks level, if not greater. Like there's only a handful of characters who have that type of observation hockey. I think Sanji,
because it really did stand out to me. Like whenever they first show up and he's like, oh, there's 7 people that just showed up here. And it's like, damn, like it's not like, oh, I sensed a strong power level. It's like, no, I know exactly how many people there are here. I'm pretty sure I know what they're up to too. Like that's a very impressive villain to have, where, you know, he basically lives across the whole sky and he knows like, nah, they just shot up here right now. We got to do something about that.
Shoot, damn, was it really realistically? It was Blackbeard that basically introduced the whole observation thing, because he was like, "Yo, Luffy don't really look like this 30 million berry guy at all. Like he's stronger than that." So, honestly, you probably could scare him. It's what you can do possibly if we put him in and give him some buffs up. You probably make a big impact. It's weird. One Piece fans are gonna go with whatever. They're gonna rock forever, honestly. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me, honestly. Like,
you got at this point, man, you just put it down and we might go for anything.
Like for better or worse, that's really, I mean, that's what you get once you establish yourself as a great. So for better or worse, you can put whatever on pen and paper. They're gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have some naysayers, but they're gonna be talked down on. Like they're gonna be looked as just regular poppers, just trying
blasphemous.
Engagement baiter. Like so, you get away with a lot. So you probably could have made a Nehru in his mind's eye. They gonna go off him. Sure, that tell you more that you didn't notice, essentially, about him and what he can do more than it was actually shown.
See, that's what I love about One Piece characters. Like, it's nothing is ever as it seems at first glance, man. What I really love was the build up to this battle. You got Old Boy representing his people, the Shandarans, and like trying to fight back against these new gods. You've got Luffy's crew that's like, wait a second, hold on, that's what's going on up here, we gotta fight, which is just so dope because they're naturally just like rebellion characters, right? If they see a group of people are being imposed upon or their rights are being infringed upon, you can definitely expect like Luffy's entire crew to step in. And that's what I really dug about this story, is that it had a built-in conflict that we get to see throughout the entire backstory of, you know, Nolan the liar, and how like he had said that he came across this, you know, island with a city of gold, definitely invoking the lost city of El Dorado myth and everything, but how that then leads to that island being sent in the air, and how the folks that live up there were like, nah, this is for us to take, which is 100% about Europeans taking over America. These like concepts are introduced in this way that's like, if you know what you're looking at, you know what you're looking at, but it's not laying on so thick as to be like, this is history, damn it, the world is like this. Don't you realize the world has nothing to live for? Like, I love that One Piece can cover these heavy topics in a way that, you know, for kids, it's just like, yo, like, you can still change the world with your carefree ways.
Yes.
So that sort of sets up this natural feud between Luffy and Enel, because Enel just wants to keep ruling the way he has. Might makes right, basically. Here comes Luffy showing up, and it's like, whoa, wait a second. Like, what do you mean you're gonna try to like knock me out of my power? So when we finally get to them fighting, and Enel's like knocked out like so many people. His different the people that work for him have gone through a good amount of fighting too. When Luffy finally does match up with them, it was almost like that sort of setup of Dragon Ball, where hey, you're gonna meet up with the villain, he's gonna knock your ass out, you're gonna be stuck in this situation where you kind of have to use that as training to get back to him, right?
Yeah,
I love that whole setup.
It's very kid Goku versus Piccolo Daimao-esque, essentially.
Yeah, and it's also in that same way where it's like the way that you get introduced to him is like he treats this entire thing as a game because he thinks he's a god. So he says, you know what? We have these invaders, we have the Shandorians, we have our warriors with the priests. Let's turn this into a survival death battle. How many people do you think are gonna be here by the end of the 3rd hour? And he asked some of his followers, and it's like, 5 people will be left out of like 80 people who are playing this game, and I will make sure of it. And it's like, you're playing with people's lives. You're playing with their homes and everything, and you just see this as a game. Meanwhile, you're just coming into this as, this quote unquote game master figure. So when we finally get to, him fighting against everybody, and we see how he uses his powers against other people, whether it was Sanji, Zoro, even Robin to an extent, scaring Nami to like follow him for a little bit. And then we get into Luffy, who has been up until this point kind of out of commission. Like Oda wrote him kind of out of the story. Just to keep him away. It's like kind of with Goku,
yes, yeah, it definitely reminded me of the Namek saga, right?
Yeah,
where it's like, okay, like Goku's in his healing chamber, he's on his way to Namek. Nah, Luffy's just in this snake.
And then he finally comes out and is like, okay,
I'm back, y'all. Wait, where is everybody? And it's really reminiscent of Goku too, because the moment he shows up and he sees, like Zoro's been beaten down, he's like, yo, I told you to watch out everybody. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
And it's off to their battle immediately. I thought it was really sick because like it was almost like from the jump, here, I'm gonna hit you with my lightning moves, and Luffy's just standing there. And it's like one of those things where it clicks with you immediately. Duh, he's got rubber powers.
Yes.
But this isn't going to work on him whatsoever. And they'll try turning up the electricity. Nothing. Right? No. So it gets to that point where he's like, okay, well, regardless of the fact that I can't like destroy with my powers, I'll just get him stuck. And attaches an entire large golden bell to his arm, making him fall all the way down. Man, that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, I see where they're going with this, but I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
There being a huge beanstalk that he basically fell off the side of, and Luffy having to run all the way up it. I ain't gonna lie, I appreciated that. The fact that the beanstalk was called the Giant Jack, I was like,
yes.
All right.
They were trying to hide it.
Decent. I thought it was really cool because while Luffy's having to run up, you're getting the entire backstory on, what happened with the people on this island, and, how their freedom is represented, and how, just they want to be recognized because the rest of the world doesn't know them. And there's this huge bell in the center of the city of gold, right? And in Nolan the Liar's backstory, it's like, come back and ring this bell and we'll know that our legend is true. That whole story being told along the way, I was like, okay, cool. Like now we've got something to dig our teeth into even further. And it's just clear that like Luffy's gonna use that golden, orb on his fist to ring the bell.
Yes.
What were y'all's thoughts on like just like the build up of the story once we're getting into like the backstory of the Shandarians and Nolan?
It's one of those things where it's like when a lot of people consider, like for One Piece fans, I'm gonna just say this: like Skypeia is both an arc and a saga. So the first part of it is the Jaya part, where we get introduced to one of Nolan's descendants in cricket, and like how his journey is to kind of figure out whether, not necessarily figure out whether his ancestors' lives were actually real or not, but it was just something that he had to prove to himself. This is his dream and how he's going about it. And he found friends along the way to kind of help him search for it, because originally they thought this, the lost city was under the sea. So he'd been diving into the waters every day, collecting gold and trying to figure out whether or not it's actually down there. How far can he actually go? And so he was the one who helped Luffy and them actually make it to Skypeia. So the entire, from beginning to end, like when we say it's a full story, this is also a part of that, where we get the backstory with Nolan the liar and Luffy actually ringing the bell at the very end, because he wants to make sure that Cricket knows that it wasn't down there, it was actually in the sky. And although if I don't do this for you, you're going to be doing this until the day you die, and we don't, like, you can't be doing something that, it's going to be a fruitless endeavor. We got to give you, the truth. And that's something about Luffy that I really enjoy in his character. Just how much he cares about the people around him, and like how hard that they work for their dreams. And if he even knows that like it's a fruitless effort, we gotta kind of tell you the truth. Like he does that early on in the story. I think it's like episode 17 or something like that, where it's a character who is protecting a treasure that's on top of a cliff, but he can't reach it himself because he's stuck in a treasure box, and Luffy goes and gets it for him. But he looks in there and he tells the guy, no, it's not up here anymore. It was taken a long time ago. But he had been protecting that treasure that he thought was on this cliff for at least 20 years. So he had already been wasting his life away. And he, like, when you get to this part, it's like, we don't want the same thing to happen to you,
Yeah. That's the crazy part, that I was like, yo, this is such a multi-generational story. It's not just about the events that are already taking place. Like there's an entire backstory built in here that affects multiple people. Like I love how One Piece is able to sort of weave its stories from, there's Luffy involved with this major narrative, but this affects all the unnamed characters that you see that are living in that world too,
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, just with the poneglyphs being in Skypeia, it affects everybody down there too. It affects everybody too. When Robin started to read both of them, I was like, oh no. But at the same time, oh yeah, because why would you be reading these joints and one is just set on basically pure destruction, and then next thing you know, more Pirate King lore, moving, all of a sudden Roger just being there, I don't know how, and it's like, 20 years ago, he was here.
Yeah.
How did he write that? We don't know. And that gets you intrigued, because you're like, yo, you don't really get much. All you hear is that, oh yeah, man got executed. He said, yo, my treasure is in One Piece, yada, 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 yada. So to hear that he's obviously intertwined with this whole world, and the fact that this big piece of this big moment essentially starts here, and completely at the end. Okay, ain't not even hiding. Like, yo, it's just in Raftail. That's the end. That's done. So they ain't really telling you flat out, like, yo, this is the start of something great, and you're gonna know it. Very important. This trip, essentially, even if they had to ring a stupid bell, that's not the payoff. That's not the end goal entirely. It's deeper than that. Things are gonna go down, and this was important. Even if they didn't want to see for the sake of proving to Cricket, like, yo, it's real. You eventually had to go up here somehow, some way.
Yeah. I think that's also one of the great things about it. Like, this is a side tangent, right? But, in 2024 or 2020 Shonen Jump, right? There are so many series that like get canceled and everything, and they kind of have to like wrap up their stories in a way that seems somewhat conclusive or satisfying. Could you imagine like One Piece getting canceled because of how bad it may or would have been or something like that, and they just end with like, yeah, Roger was here. Maybe the One Piece is out there somewhere, you know, and it just like cuts off right here, like
Boy.
Sick. I'd have been trashing the series. Absolutely. That'd been sick. Shoot. They obviously they say that, you know, Oda never expected the series to go past Arabasta. So this being your next arc after the essentially, we passed the marking point. And you introduce that, and then all of a sudden, the series gets canceled. I'd have been pissed. I'd have been talking down on One Piece to this day, for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be talking about it way, way different. You know what I mean? Like it would be like, yeah, man. So really glad the big two are back. You know what I mean?
Naruto would have really my prediction of how America viewed Naruto. It really would have been big number one.
Oh yeah, the show.
Take that for how you will. If you love Sasuke, Naruto, like you.
Yeah, no. There would never be like, oh, Naruto. Like, nah. We'd be like, hell yeah. That's that shit, boy.
I wouldn't even talking about One Piece. I wouldn't even talk about manga as a whole. Because Jump really was the big factor into me staying alive with this manga stuff. So, One Piece ending?
Yeah.
On that note, I would have been gloom and doom. Oh yeah, it's over. Nothing's ever gonna be good again. Well, at least for One Piece going on, and the art it was giving you, and the politics of the world building, you felt like, yo, you know what, this potentially could be the greatest thing ever. So thank God that it's still here.
Yeah, and they introduced so much with that. So like, yeah,
man, and that's the thing too. Yeah, because like that would have been insane. It's like, yo, y'all just got through introducing so much build up, and we just stop it here. What?
Yeah.
How?
This alleged not important art, boring art. It stopped here and this, because this was basically, well, here you go. Pandora's box open. The shit is getting serious, whether you like it or not. I'd be pissed. I absolutely pissed.
I love how the story handles the buildup of Luffy having to come back up to him. You know, you've got Sanji and Usopp. They come back to try to, distract Enel, trying to wreck the ship, which it seems like they just slipped one gear out of place. Like, that's not really, I don't know what the fuck they expected to do there. I would have been actually destroying the ship, maybe.
Shoot. Mr. Romax, Mr. Prince, he wasn't gonna let Nami Swan get destroyed out there. He had to, as a kid, say aura form. He had to get lightened up, burnt to a crisp.
Yes.
That scene is hard.
That is saving Usopp by kicking him out the way and he's like, I needed that, bro. Thanks for lighting the blunt.
Oh my god, I thought that was so cool. He's like, fuck off. It like falls down. It's like, man. Sanji, like that I bought Sanji stock like immediately when I saw that damn scene. I was like, no, this is my guy right here, man.
Yeah, we needed that. That's what you gonna get for the time being. Like, he's a guy, and then this, becomes a character. With the
Oda does some very interesting things with Sanji as a character,
Oh man, yeah, I bet. I've heard he's kind of a wild boy.
Oh yeah.
Should be sharing a lot of similar things,
Oh god.
Yeah. You loved Roshi? Oh, you're gonna love Sun, man.
See, I'm excited now. By this point, though, we're right at the point where Luffy's basically returned back up the beanstalk, right? And this, I really love how everything plays out with like trying to cut the beanstalk so that way it reaches the ship, to line up Luffy to like go jump and slam the ball like against the bell, right? Mm-hmm. I love the way that Enel was like cool, you know what? This kid's at a disadvantage. I'll just use lightning on him. And it's like, bro, you put gold on his arm. Like, he's just conducting it now. Like, you really made it worse for you.
Desperation, man. This is what happens.
when he finally like hits him into the bell and the bell rings and cricket's down on the ground, he's like, thank you, I knew the legend was real. And you see like Luffy up in the clouds. Man, that was the moment where I was like, yeah, this is what One Piece is about.
Yo, I was getting chills.
Yes.
I was getting chills.
Yeah.
I got chills. I watched it. I got chills. There's nobody can tell me nothing. Once you hear it, Luffy's like, did you hear that diamond head? It's real.
The bell is real. I was like, man, see, like this is what it's about. I love how like shonen main characters nowadays are all the same in the sense that they can influence other characters and like change the world around them through their actions. But I feel like there isn't a character written better in how they go about it than Luffy.
Yeah, wholeheartedly so. Like you don't necessarily like see characters nowadays grow in the way that Luffy does, mainly because he's a reactionary character first. Everybody else reacts to whatever Luffy does because he never has like an internal thought about what he does. He just moves, and everybody else moves around him. Like even with his crew, they know how Luffy is going to act. So they have to like coordinate themselves because they know how their captain is. And with a lot of other characters, you kind of just have to follow their journey and their growth and evolution. So like you said, there's really not a character that can influence the world in this way because of whatever their actions are and whatever their goals and determination is. Like Luffy is really that guy to where he changed so many places already just by him being there. Like he legit, if he didn't go to the sky because he wanted to, that island would not exist. That entire place would have fell to the ground within like 24 hours, bro. Like everybody would have been seeing like a whole land and like a bunch of bodies just falling out of the sky.
And then they would have been like, what's that about? And it just would have been like, the government would have been like, whatever, don't worry about that shit. And they would have moved on.
Don't worry about it. You know that they piece of garbage anyway. So yeah, don't worry about it.
I love how Luffy is able to influence the world because, you have characters like Goku and Naruto, just off the top of my head, right? Where they influence these other characters around them and they are able to change the hearts of specific people, right? But even with Goku, when he's trying to do the spirit bomb, nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Oh yeah, but Luffy, you know Luffy would get it if he had this whatever attack similar to a spirit bomb. He getting that.
Yeah, so serious because it's something where like he literally becomes a hero for peoples, like entire peoples are like, nah, that's the rubber boy that came and saved us.
Yeah, it's crazy when it's like the way that they have that system set up is with the bounty system. Like the world can see Luffy and they will move based on his actions. Like we see characters who are related to Luffy later down the line that have to move and act based on him because of his bounty. Like, it's like, okay, I guess we gotta act now. Like, this nigga getting a little bit too powerful. Like he's making a name for himself, like, and you kind of see like what as we follow Luffy, the way that One Piece tells his story is like between arcs, you will see the world outside of Luffy and how they're moving and their actions and everything like that. Like at the beginning of Jaya, we saw like Doflamingo, we saw Kuma and Blackbeard and like their actions. We even see Buggy for an instance, like and he was somebody who was related to Luffy beforehand. So like all of their actions and everything like that after Luffy came into contact with him and whatever that they're doing and however Luffy will interact with them after the fact is always a thing. But during this entire journey, we will always follow Luffy, and wherever they may intersect, that's where it's like, okay, we see how they got up to this point. And Oda will never let us like not see that. It may take some time, but because of Luffy's actions, we will see how people are directly influenced by him. Like even up to this very arc in, I don't want to say the name because it took us a long time to get here, but we're finally here. You know, like his actions led us here.
It only takes you our entire life. But yeah, we're here, man.
Man, like that's a thing, bro. If you know, we always talk about, for better or for worse, you know, the longevity of One Piece and how that's like so many people talk about how that's kept them out of it, bro. I've been adjacent to One Piece since I was 16. I'm 36. Okay, like I've never felt like One Piece was this thing that's like too long to get into. I just always felt like it was like, I'll be ready for you eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I will get there. Like I remember finding out about Ace's death when I was in college and just being like, yo, like I don't know nothing about that character, but that seems to be hitting niggas hard. You know what I mean? Like,
I still didn't know enough about him besides a little backstory, John. Like, we saw him once, and then we got an arc, essentially.
You know,
and we got all of that during that arc. Like,
I still ain't care about like that. Good writers, but it definitely hit the city, man. He messed the city up with that one.
Yeah. So, you know, finally, all these years after, like I've seen a good amount of the Wano arc. I've watched the Netflix series. You know, I've watched like so many things about One Piece. It's cool to be able to dive into something so early in its era. And you know, hey, fuck you. I watched episode of Skypeia, sue me, right? You're not gonna beat my ass. But like, it's really cool to fucking go back and watch an arc, even in condensed form, and be like, yeah, no, I see how everything took off from here. Like I see how this is what got niggas going and why this character winds up becoming so impactful. Like I've got nothing but respect for these guys, like even that early in.
Hey man, listen, goofy pirate manga with emotional like development and characters and all of these different things that make you feel for the story itself. Like, listen, man, like you said, for me, you may not be interested in One Piece, but there will come a time that there is a story somewhere within One Piece that will resonate with you.
Yep. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like if you just give it a chance and allow yourself to absorb like just one part, you'll find something that's like, oh, damn, like I saw people talk about how it touched on these things, but I see how it touches on these things in person. And yeah, like this is damn generational manga here. Like it deserves to have been as long as it's been around for. Like if you're telling stories like this on a constant basis, yeah, we need more of that.
Like, I don't think there's ever like, can you guys think of any adventure series, any adventure manga that's not Dragon Ball that has this type of storytelling?
They in hiatus.
Yeah.
And they came out around the same time, but you know, like
it's in hiatus. Unfortunately, sadly, it's in hiatus. So this is the best thing possibly gonna get.
Fist of the North Star touches these kinds of things, right? But even still with that, right? Like, it's such a condensed story compared to One Piece that I feel like even Fist of the North Star, with its dealings of like, you know, how do we deal with forlorn people in a bygone post-apocalyptic era, and how do we bring them like joy in their lives again? It doesn't do enough of that as One Piece does. Like you know those things are happening, you know those things are going on, you know Kenshiro basically carries the weight of the human people, but like, do we see people's lives get better for real? No.
Yeah, I probably
a little bit, like in surrounding areas, like, oh, the people that live near where Souther lived now are living better.
Yeah, it was
but like we don't see a point where like the whole world is like, Kishiro's our boy and he's gonna save us all. You know, like
Yeah.
Luffy is that everywhere he goes.
Honestly, as far as the adventure goes with manga, I'll probably match. There's only maybe 2 or 3, and probably Vinland Saga, probably Berserk, and hiatus. So again, that's not much, and it's 3 of them are in hiatus. Unfortunately, like there's nothing else ongoing currently that you're gonna get on a weekly basis that gives you what One Piece gives you. That's just the truth of the matter.
And sometimes like it just the storytelling of One Piece kind of gives you that hope, where it's like those other ones kind of have that, like, you know, it's a lot more emotional because of you having to figure out how to keep moving in a, you know, desolate and depressing situation. Whereas One Piece kind of it has some of that, and like the way that they tell it is kind of through Luffy. In a sense, like even with like Ace's death and everything like that, that's the kind of beginning part for Luffy. But in that same manner, there's a lot of characters that interact with Luffy who he influences to get out of those situations. So it's like a different thing. Whereas on one hand, you know, Luffy is that kind of character to influence other people, but when other people start to influence them, that's when it becomes a full circle type of deal. And, you know, it because of the longevity of One Piece, where we even get to those things, it plays into its benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm always going to look at One Piece as a series that has earned its place in manga and anime history, but now I'm looking at One Piece as this anime that's like, man, you can't deny it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how much you've read of it. I don't care how much you've watched of it. If you're a One Piece hater, you're just doing it just to be different.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like you can look, you can have a problem with the fact that it's a long series, but if you genuinely are like, I'm not willing to ever watch it, I think it's trash, I don't think it's even worth watching, like, nah, I'm sorry, you're fucking lying, or you're misinformed.
It's not trash. It started off great. I'm Mr. Critical Guy, and I am here to say, like, yo, this series started off great. The drop off doesn't hit until damn near
500 episodes in.
500 episodes in. And that's the beginning of a time skip. And I think time skips are very hard to do.
Yes.
Very hard to do. Like, it's very hard. Especially in the beginning, because you basically gotta make your main cast that much of a level of strength that supersedes whatever that they're showing. You know, we gotta have some form of progress with the main cast. So it takes until the time skip essentially for it to go, and it's not even garbage. It's just like, it's not as good as
a dip in quality.
I wouldn't even say like it's a dip in quality. It's just like, all right, we got to kind of get through this to get to
it slows back down and build back up.
Yeah.
The only thing that is beating One Piece's behind is the fact that it's still vague when it's really coming to an end, essentially, as far as storytelling goes. So you're like, damn, are we still doing silhouettes?
Like, you just made me think about,
it's like the only thing that's beating One Piece is that it's older style of like, not like, it's a little bit comfortable, unfortunately, and you get that. Dude, Toriyama got comfortable at the time, so it is what it is. A lot of people say, hey, damn, you could just see that Toriyama was just riding along as he went and watching moves. I'm like, I know it's ended.
Nah,
you know it's ended.
Oda just be doing shit, bro. Like,
the fact that Oda has so much power in his hand, and he's a lifeline for Shonen Jump, no matter what people say. When One Piece goes, I'm expecting a big drop. I don't care what you say. So the fact he knows of its importance and how the world views him, how his bosses know him, you can do whatever the hell you want. Realistically, man, people gonna ride for you. It gotta be something egregious. I saw the Gear 5 debut and that was egregious from a storytelling point. And
Wow,
people
really?
love it.
I was one of them.
People
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
if you could hate,
I loved it. I don't know
hate,
shit, but I loved it.
If you hate Naruto getting those power ups and being the destiny, the prophecy of Destiny Eye and everything that he represented, I guess, of it doesn't matter whatever your destiny or fate tells you, it's very much in One Piece with the Air 5 drop. Yeah. Especially when but it's like it's cool. And people are going hard for it. I went hard for it because it's a fun, cool transformation. But you could get away with a lot of stuff when you establish yourself as doing incredible work. And my man has some of the best arcs in any form of serialization. So he's gonna give you whatever he wants. We are gonna get a silhouette next week of something, most likely.
Yeah.
And I ain't even read the chat. I ain't even read I can tell you.
The last chapter. That's what made me laugh about it, because I'm like, damn, bro, really did. We just got some crazy shit about it's so funny to me, and this might be a little Oda gassing a little bit, but how he'll just drop a random character, phrase, panel, whatever it may be, and it may not come back up for another 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000 chapters. And when it comes back up, it's like the entire community will be like, remember this? Go look at the cover page of 512. Look at page 9 of 762. Like, nigga, what? First of all, how did you even? I don't keep track of those things. I I keep track of main story beats and everything like that. Niggas keeping track of color pages.
Pages are not too deep in the sauce, unfortunately. But they got the right, yo. It's when you this long deep in, you gonna do that.
Folks deeper on One Piece than the Bible.
They are.
You know what? Hey.
You can read the Bible in its entirety.
That's what I'm about to say. But the lore, you know what I mean? Older. I'm sorry, we don't have new chapters coming out weekly of the Bible. That's actually, if you go back and look at Leviticus, no, he just ain't got that.
Testament, goddamn life.
Look at the cover art. Look at the cover art, man. Did you see that picture? Did you see that picture for volume 32? Well, it got circled back, and that's One Piece fans in all.
Yes.
But, the quality of the time skip is essentially when the quality drops down and it peaks back up, unfortunately. So you can't even throw it on he's just stuck in a drought. No, he shows you brilliance in some other arcs. So it's damn, you get away with whatever, unfortunately. But damn it, please end this shit so this whole series so I can peacefully reread it without the paupers on Twitter telling me a bunch of it. You see what happened was you did this in chapter 200, right? And now we in chapter 1,000 something. No, I don't want to hear that.
One of the funniest things,
theory crafters.
One of the funniest things to me also is it's synonymous with Dragon Ball, and I think it came out recently. I kind of tune into them yearly, but it's always the power scaling debates. And there's a lot of people who have a top 30 strongest in the series so far. And I tune into them. I'm not going to lie, because I like to see how people scale things. Just because how do you
I hate it, bro. I hate the thing crafting. I hate it. In One Piece, I'm the adventure is bigger than the whole story. Yeah. That's the biggest. That's what makes One Piece stand out more than its competition, etc. This is about adventure. What are you talking about?
I understand the desire to want to weigh things out, right? Because fans get caught up in lore and oh no, something has to equal something. But what I hate is that niggas you'll watch a video and you'll be like, okay, maybe this person knows what they're talking about. And then it's well, I think, and it's oh, well, fuck. I don't want to listen to this anymore.
The thing with people that read a lot, they also write a lot. And One Piece done gave you 1,000+ chapters. So these niggas write a lot when they go on back to their theory crafting and their debates. So essentially, with a theory crafting debate on One Piece, all you're scrolling down is these folks are verified on Twitter too. So they have the right to be able to make pages. And it's so annoying when a One Piece panel drops or whatever. And you're gonna get somebody, well, actually, I thought this was, and they go back and forth, and it's like, damn it, nigga, just shut up and read. Shut up and read. Just shut up.
The funniest thing is always like trying to decipher what a panel means, bro. And like niggas be like, bro, does this mean he have hockey? What kind of hockey is it? No, he didn't do it in this way, so that means it's not this. And it's like like who's worse? Like I'm asking this not just for like y'all, but like for actual One Piece fans.
One Piece. I'm sorry, bro. It's the fact that they it's One Piece, man. It's One Piece now. It's definitely One Piece. Before there was a toss up. Now it's One Piece, bro. It's not in just the theory, just not about the story, but essentially the battle. It's One Piece. Shit, I read the other day about Shanks having a twin. I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what, nigga? Y'all know how I feel about Shanks. Y'all know how I feel about Shanks, right? So this nigga, now, the fact that he's getting shown a bit more now, we see what he can do. These niggas just coming out the books.
When I tell you, I read the chapter like when they call them stabs or whatever, you know, so it's like shits and stabs. So like when we get to that chapter where it's supposedly stabs or whatever, I'm like,
I hate y'all. I love y'all, but I hate y'all, bro, because I can blame anybody for reading a long-standing series like this, bro. My lord, stabs, bro. This guy gonna have his own page on Wikia for One Piece because these niggas are like stabs,
nuts.
bro. The nigga name is Stabs. Yeah.
That ain't even his name though. That's the thing. Like it hasn't even come out yet. But like that's a part of the theory crafting. It's like, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Shanks high difficulties, stabs, and again, stabs.
Oh my god,
exists.
He hasn't even done anything. Like, how are you even? Man, I love the One Piece community. Because I hate the people in it, bro. Like, I love it. The debates are so like, why are we even discussing this?
Shanks' twin brother Stabs, my dude. Stabs. Now you can say for everything, it wasn't Shanks, it was Stabs.
Oh my god.
And that's what's going on.
Yes, yeah. Because like there was a whole thing in the community where it's like, is Shanks an op? Is he like against everything is Luffy? Why is he talking to certain figures in the world and everything like that? And now we get, you know, certain panels with Stabs who supposedly isn't Shanks or whatever, and he's moving with other people. It's like, what? I guess it wasn't Shanks all along. Like you just have to get there when you get there.
It's fairy tale.
Yes.
This shit is starting to
also Oda did this. I'm blaming Oda for because
sometimes you gotta shut up, bro. That's the thing about what I like about my manga club. They don't be talking much, bro. Like how Oda the only nigga that don't show his face at all for nothing, right? And he talks every art, every interview, every SBS. This nigga talks, right? And now, out of the woodworks, somebody so happens to ask this nigga about this bullshit.
Oh my god!
Like, you know,
he gives a non-answer.
It's like Tai Kubo with it.
Yeah, he's a troll. All of them niggas is trolls. Any big three, anybody who was they were trolls. Kubo was just the bigger one, and now Oda's been in the game so damn long now. He took the throne of troll from Kubo.
But
and it's annoying.
I don't blame Oda because like fans be asking him some wild shit, and I know he's sick of it, so he has to like start trolling niggas just to like get them out of his face.
He don't know he know his fan base, but he don't know it because now he trolling them, and now these niggas are taking it like as word of mouth, like he dead ass, and now we're having.
Oh my god!
Yo, search One Piece and Stabs in the Twitter search box. My lord. you're gonna see that. You're gonna see whole discussions about it.
Yeah,
And it's
no,
like,
I'm
yo, this
looking
thing
right
is like-
now. This is nuts. This is nuts, bro. They're like, his real name could be Stabs. Like, what the fuck is going on? All right, y'all. You know what?
Like, bro, I saw a top 30. a top 30 list, and that man Stabs is at number 9.
Oh my god, y'all see it right here.
Oda get away, yo. Oda don't even gotta write his story, bro. Just answer questions.
Stabs.
People gonna fix this, man. Hunter, yo, Togashi wishes he had the fandom. Like,
The crazy part is that
because-
Stabs and Shanks are on this list.
Yeah.
Shanks is number 4. Stabs is number 9. What the fuck is going on?
Whole time, Oda's like, yo, I probably just forgot drawing the scar because manga could do that, man.
Yes.
But no, that's.
But
over.
you know,
over,
there's a certain thing that Oda also introduced, like later down the line, is like.
Yeah.
All right, Oda, you getting a little bit too sci-fi with it. And he's been wanting to like. All right, we gotta reel back a little bit. But he's like, no, let's dive. Like, and I'll say this before we end it. The game One Piece Odyssey. Like I played a fair amount of it. Like,
I played it.
yeah, there's a lot of like sci-fi elements to that kind of tie into the main storyline. So like, it's a fair amount of canon, especially with like Skypeia. You know, there's a lot of elements in that kind of play into the lore of the world. So like, I appreciate them kind of like trying to flesh it out and give us a little bit more insight into the kind of technological advancements that may or may not have been made in this world, especially with Dr. Vegapunk, who is he's one of the central figures that we recently got in Egghead. We finally see him for like, for so long, and I do appreciate Oda kind of like bearing the lead with a lot of those things, but because he does that so often with just like random pictures, panels, characters, whatever the fuck, and then he goes into it later down the line, and now it's like, all right, bro, with everything that you answer, you drop at least like 20 more questions, 100 more discussions, and a lot more theory crafting on the timeline, bro. Like,
He's ruining my
doing this shit on purpose.
He's ruining my Twitter. I'm glad I don't go back on forums back in the day like how it was.
Oh, that would have been sick.
You would have like at least 200 pages of nonsense. So I'm glad for not doing those. But like, this is getting Fort Shinobi World-esque, realistically. It's like, you notice you're right at the finish line, but he gonna go crazy, and he's going crazy. I want this series to end so much. So I can have some peace on my timeline, bro. So I can have peace.
That is the only reason. That is the only reason. Although I've been enjoying it. Like the fact that we're in the arc that we're in right now after so long, and we're just, we're getting some answers, and we're seeing a lot of different characters, but like Stabs being a fucking thing.
Yes, that thing is annoying. We finally got into the arc from since that we were waiting for 20 years now, right?
Yes.
And now we have Stabs overwhelming the fact that we're finally into it. And you're not gonna hear the end of it until the next interview that Oda does, which is probably gonna be next year.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck.
Well,
I'll be muting Stabs after this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I know I'm gonna
do that.
Make sure
Wait a minute.
to just avoid anything that says Stabs in One Piece. Like, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm not paying attention to that shit, boy.
Yes, exactly.
Guys, thank y'all for joining in with this topic, man. Thank you so much with talking One Piece with us, AD. I know it's not a hard ask for you.
Oh yeah,
but I appreciate it all the same, man.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. Anytime I get a chance to talk One Piece, anytime I get a chance to talk with y'all about anything, man, I'm always down.
This is the second time AD has talking about One Piece on a pod of ours, and Shanks has somehow every time
the end, it just evolves into
Shanks. And the fact is, it has some form of like, the minute AD talked, we mentioned about he could be a villain. This is what it's that. Like, literally, I'm dead. I'm so serious, bro. When we did the end of the villain round off, bro, and we mentioned it, now what? We're last year, essentially, in the last closing month of the year. Guess what these niggas are talking about?
Yeah.
Stabs.
This is not my fault. I want y'all to know, like, I may be maybe an apostle of One Piece, you know what I'm saying? I didn't bring in stabs. This is some false prophet behavior.
No way. we got the Prophet Muhammad on our pod, man. He going crazy. And down in the summertime, man, when Stabs appears officially and you get Stabs, 20
I'm gonna be sick.
Panel,
I'm gonna be sick.
I'm spamming AD's Twitter with that. I'm like, look what you did, bro. Look what you did. This your fault.
We're gonna run back an episode, special episode, just for that discussion.
I do that every time, man. Every time. The minute we get that Stabs panel, bro, yo, AD, look what you did, bro.
You know, I accept everything. I accept, bro.
Put that in the air, man.
Oh man, shit. We're gonna get knives. We're gonna get cleave.
Oh god, we're gonna get shivs.
Right?
Yeah. Mihawk versus Stabs. Who's stronger? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
God bless.
Filet. That's really what it's going to be.
God, man.
My God, bro. But listen, man, it's going to be great times next time we tune back in, because next week y'all can expect us to get into some real classic anime with Joe Yabuki versus Jose Mini.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah. Let's go.
Y'all diving into a good classic bag right there.
Real legendary battle. So make sure y'all tune in with us next week as we get into that. Tune in to AD's Twitch as 1ADZL on Twitch. Tune into my Twitch. I'll be back on eventually. I'll be back on this week, most likely, to play some One Piece.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure to tap in with the Lookout and Subslide Dubslide forever. And Plug and Play when we come back, because please believe that's sooner than later.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But until then,
I'll be shitting on Stabs. Until then.
I'll be easy, man. Subslide, Dubslide. We don't, never have, and never will.
Y'all big crafters unfortunately have not. But
y'all keep flying, boy.
Y'all keep flying.
I just spread the truth. I spread the truth.
Damn right, man. Until next time, y'all. Peace.